It was just another cold Thursday morning at Mel's Diner. Same cracked coffee pot, same sticky menus, same worn-out uniforms, and same tired face in the mirror that belonged to Emily. 22, exhausted, and barely hanging on. She had worked the early shift 5 days in a row. Rent was due in 3 days. Her mom's medication had gone up again. And the tips? They barely covered the gas it took to get to work. But Emily smiled. She always smiled, because if she didn't, she might cry. That morning, around 9:30, a man walked in. Tall, suit, expensive shoes. The kind of guy who didn't belong in a place like Mel's. He didn't look around, just sat in the corner booth, pulled out his phone, and started tapping away like the world owed him something. Emily walked over, pad in hand. "Good morning, sir. Can I get you something?" He didn't look up. "Just coffee, black, and make it quick." No please, no thank you. Emily walked away, biting her tongue. She'd seen plenty like him before. Big money, bigger ego. A few minutes later, she brought him the coffee. He took one sip, made a face, and pushed it aside. Too bitter. Emily offered to bring sugar, cream, anything. He waved her off. 10 minutes later, he stood up, dropped a crumpled 5 on the table, and walked out, still glued to his phone. Emily sighed and went to clear the table. That's when she saw it. A wallet, thick, leather, expensive-looking. She picked it up and peeked inside. A business card, a platinum credit card, a driver's license, and at least $800 in cash. Her heart raced. She looked around. The man was gone, long gone. Emily swallowed hard and slipped the wallet into her apron. She walked to the back hallway, heart pounding. She stared at the wall and tried to breathe. Her rent was $750. She had $32 to her name. That wallet could change everything. She pulled the wallet back out and read the business card again. Charles W. Linton, CEO, Linton Group. She'd heard the name before. It was on one of the fancy buildings downtown, one of those real estate companies that bought up everything. She imagined what his life was like: suits, boardrooms, drivers, expensive wine. A few $100s was probably nothing to him. To her, it meant staying in her apartment, keeping her mom out of the hospital, buying groceries for the first time in 2 weeks. Her hands shook. No one had seen him drop it. No one would know. She closed her eyes. And then she sighed. Emily walked back to the front and handed the wallet to her manager, Tom. "Hey, someone left this. I think it belongs to the guy in the corner booth." Tom raised an eyebrow. "You sure you want to give this back?" "Yeah, I'm sure." Tom took it without another word and put it behind the counter. The day dragged on. Rain started pounding the windows. Emily worked the lunch rush. More grumpy customers. More fake smiles. A $1.75 tip on a $40 check. At the end of her shift, she changed in the tiny bathroom and sat in her car for a long time, just listening to the rain. She didn't feel proud. She just felt tired. The next day, Emily came in for her shift. Tom waved her over. "Hey, that guy came back for his wallet, said he wanted to talk to you." Emily's stomach dropped. "What? Why?" "No idea, said he'd be back this morning." Sure enough, at 9:15, he walked in again. Same suit, same cold expression. Emily walked over slowly. "Good morning, sir." He looked up at her for the first time, really looked. "You found my wallet?" "Yes, sir. I gave it to my manager." There was a long pause. Then he pulled out a chair. "Sit." She hesitated, then sat. He stared at her. "Do you know who I am?" "Charles Linton. You own half the buildings in this city." He gave a small, humorless laugh. "Pretty much. Do you know what was in that wallet?" Emily nodded. "Cash, cards, your business info." $840, exactly. You could have taken it. "I know." "You didn't." "No." Another pause. Then, slowly, Charles reached into his coat and pulled out an envelope. He slid it across the table. Emily opened it. Inside was a check, made out to her, for $25,000. Emily gasped and looked up. I don't understand. Charles leaned forward. I run a non-profit foundation. We've been testing something, planting wallets in low-income neighborhoods, seeing who returns them. Most don't. He nodded at her. But you did, and I watched you struggle with the decision. That moment in the hallway, I had a security guy watching. You didn't know that, did you? Emily shook her head, speechless. You passed the test, with more honesty than I've seen in a long time. Tears filled Emily's eyes. This changes everything. Charles smiled for the first time. That's the point. He stood up, buttoned his jacket, and paused. One more thing. There's a position open at my company, entry-level admin, full benefits, healthcare, training, if you're interested. He left a card on the table, then walked out. Emily sat there for a long time, staring at the check, the business card, the empty seat across from her. Then, for the first time in weeks, she laughed. A real laugh. 3 months later, Emily moved into a small apartment uptown. Her mom had full coverage for her medication. And every morning, Emily took the bus downtown in a blazer that still smelled new, heading to a job that gave her hope. Some people say life doesn't give second chances, but sometimes it gives you a test instead. And if you pass, it gives you everything. This is Emily's story. She didn't just find a wallet, she found a new beginning. And all it took was doing the right thing.